Can you imagine a supersonic passenger plane over 60 meters long taking off from an aircraft carrier? Yet that was exactly the challenge a seasoned captain was about to face. Sitting in the cockpit, he constantly adjusted the plane's alignment, ensuring the fuselage matched the direction of the carrier deck. Once everything was perfectly lined up, he slowly reversed the massive aircraft until its landing gear rested right at the edge of the deck, maximizing every possible meter of acceleration. But taking off from an aircraft carrier with such a heavy passenger jet was nearly impossible. The aircraft needed to reach at least 300 kilometers per hour. Yet the deck was only a few hundred meters long, far too short. Even with the upward curve at the front of the deck to increase the takeoff angle, the danger was extreme. If the plane failed to lift off, it would plunge straight into the sea. Against all odds, the captain pushed the throttles to their maximum, and the giant passenger plane roared forward and successfully lifted into the sky. The next challenge, however, was even more terrifying. On a small island sat a tiny airport with a runway barely 300 meters long, and the captain had to take off again with a fully loaded aircraft. Remaining calm, he maneuvered the plane to the far end of the narrow runway. Turning around on a strip only a few dozen meters wide was nearly impossible, yet he guided the massive jet with perfect precision, using an open area to the right to complete the slow, careful turn. One wrong move and the aircraft would have slid off the edge into the sea, but the captain stayed composed, straightened the fuselage, and aligned it perfectly with the runway. Then came the critical moment. He pushed the engines to full power, squeezing every bit of acceleration from the short runway. What happened next was unbelievable. After the brief takeoff roll, the passenger plane slid off the end of the runway. Instead of climbing, the fuselage dropped sharply toward the sea. It looked like disaster was certain. But at the very last moment, just before the plane touched the water, the aircraft suddenly lifted, surging upward into the sky as if pulled by an invisible force. Impossible? Illogical? Or something else entirely? Stay tuned for the next episode.